Welcome to Celestial Zodiac. In this video we're going to look at eclipses by house and how they show where eclipse energy is most likely to affect your life. In the previous videos we talked about what eclipses are, why they are considered turning points, and how the zodiac sign of an eclipse describes the type of energy or change that takes place. Eclipses are not just ordinary new moons and full moons. They are often connected to events, beginnings, endings, and shifts that move your life in a new direction. In the last video we focused on how eclipses express themselves through each zodiac sign, and how the sign shows the way the change unfolds. In this video we're taking that one step further. While the sign shows how the eclipse energy expresses itself, the house in your birth chart shows where these changes are most likely to happen in your life. Understanding the house placement of an eclipse can help explain why some eclipse seasons feel more personal or impactful than others, depending on which areas of life are being activated. When an eclipse occurs, it falls into a specific house in your birth chart, and that house represents a particular area of life. This is where the effects of the eclipse are most likely to show up, whether through events, changes, or shifts in focus. For example, an eclipse in the career sector may bring changes related to work or long-term goals, while an eclipse in the home sector may affect your personal life or living situation. The house placement helps ground the eclipse energy into something real and tangible. At the same time, eclipses always activate two houses, not just one. This is because eclipses occur along the lunar node axis, which connects two opposite points in the chart. As a result, when one house is activated, the opposite house is also involved. This often creates a shift or rebalancing between two areas of life, rather than a change in just one direction. Because of this, eclipses are often experienced as a movement between two connected areas. One area may be asking for growth, attention, or a new beginning, while the other may be reaching a point where something needs to be released or adjusted. This is why eclipse periods can feel significant, because they are not just about one part of life changing, but about how two areas are shifting in relation to each other. Before we go through each house, it's important to understand one key idea. Eclipses do not affect just one area of life. Because they occur along the lunar node axis, they always activate two houses at the same time. This means that whenever an eclipse brings change to one area, there is usually a shift happening in another connected area as well. This can feel like a rebalancing between two parts of life, especially if both areas are active at the same time. One side may be asking for more attention, growth, or a new beginning, while the other may be reaching a point where something needs to be adjusted or released. Rather than focusing on just one house, eclipses often highlight how these two areas interact and influence each other. For example, eclipses across the 1st and 7th houses may bring a shift between focusing on yourself and focusing on relationships. Eclipses across the 4th and 10th houses may involve changes between home and career, or between your private life and your public responsibilities. These kinds of shifts are common during eclipse periods, which is why they can feel so significant. They are not just about one change, but about how different parts of your life are being realigned at the same time. Eclipses in the 1st house tend to bring changes related to identity, personal direction, and how you present yourself to the world. These are often times when you feel pushed to redefine who you are or step into a new version of yourself. The energy can feel immediate and personal, as if something is shifting within you that others can also see. You may make changes to your appearance, your approach to life, or the way you assert yourself in different situations. These eclipses often mark the beginning of a new life chapter where you are learning to take ownership of your path and move forward with greater independence. Eclipses in the second house tend to focus on money, resources, values, and your sense of security. These are often times when financial situations shift, or when you begin to reevaluate what you truly value and depend on. The energy can feel grounding but also uncertain, especially if something you relied on is changing. You may experience changes in income, spending habits, or the way you manage your resources. These eclipses often highlight the need to build a stronger sense of stability and self-worth, encouraging you to rely more on what you can create and sustain for yourself. Eclipses in the third house tend to bring changes related to communication, learning, and everyday interactions. These are often times when conversations, decisions, or new information play a key role in shifting your direction. The energy can feel busy or mentally active, with a lot of ideas, messages, or choices coming in at once. You may find yourself having important discussions, learning something new, or changing the way you think about a situation. These eclipses often highlight the importance of communication and clarity, encouraging you to stay open to new perspectives and express yourself more effectively. Eclipses in the fourth house tend to bring changes related to home, family, and your emotional foundation. These are often times when your personal life becomes more active, and situations involving your living environment or close relationships may shift. The energy can feel deeply emotional or reflective, as you become more aware of what makes you feel secure and supported. You may experience changes such as moving, family developments, or shifts in your sense of belonging. These eclipses often highlight the need to create a stronger foundation in your personal life, helping you feel more grounded and emotionally stable moving forward. Eclipses in the fifth house tend to bring changes related to creativity, self-expression, romance, and what brings you joy. These are often times when something new begins or shifts in how you express yourself or connect with others on a personal level. The energy can feel more visible and expressive, sometimes drawing attention to your talents, passions, or desire to be recognized. You may experience changes in romantic relationships, creative projects, or activities that bring fulfillment. These eclipses often highlight the importance of embracing your individuality and allowing yourself to fully express who you are. Eclipses in the sixth house tend to focus on work, health, routines, and daily responsibilities. These are often times when adjustments are needed in how you manage your time, energy, or overall well-being. The energy can feel practical but demanding, especially if something in your routine is no longer sustainable. You may experience changes in your work environment, schedule, or habits related to health and productivity. These eclipses often highlight the need to create better balance in your daily life, encouraging you to build routines that support long-term stability and well-being. Eclipses in the seventh house tend to bring changes related to relationships, partnerships, and how you connect with others. These are often times when important shifts occur in personal or professional relationships, requiring decisions or adjustments. The energy can feel relational and sometimes intense, especially if something is out of balance between you and another person. You may experience the beginning or ending of a relationship, or a change in how a current partnership functions. These eclipses often highlight the need for balance, cooperation, and a clearer understanding of your role within relationships. Eclipses in the eighth house tend to bring deep transformation, shared resources, and emotional intensity. These are often times when something beneath the surface comes into focus, leading to significant changes or realizations. The energy can feel intense or transformative, especially if it involves letting go of control or facing something that has been hidden. You may experience changes related to shared finances, investments, or emotional bonds with others. These eclipses often mark periods of deep personal growth, encouraging you to release what no longer serves you and move through a process of transformation. Eclipses in the ninth house tend to bring changes related to beliefs, higher learning, travel, and your overall perspective on life. These are often times when your understanding expands, or when you begin to question what you previously believed to be true. The energy can feel expansive and directional, as if you are being guided toward a broader view or a new path. You may experience opportunities for education, travel, or experiences that shift your outlook. These eclipses often highlight the need to grow beyond limitations and align with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Eclipses in the 10th house tend to focus on career, public life, and long-term goals. These are often times when your direction in the outer world becomes more visible, and important decisions may need to be made about your path forward. The energy can feel goal-oriented and sometimes high pressure, especially if responsibilities or expectations are increasing. You may experience changes in your career, reputation, or role within a larger structure. These eclipses often mark turning points where you are being guided toward greater responsibility, achievement, and alignment with your long-term ambitions. Eclipses in the 11th house tend to bring changes related to friendships, groups, and future goals. These are often times when your connections with others or your sense of belonging within a community may shift. The energy can feel social but also unpredictable, especially if new people or opportunities enter your life. You may experience changes in friendships, group dynamics, or long-term plans and aspirations. These eclipses often highlight the importance of aligning with people and goals that support your future direction. Eclipses in the 12th house tend to bring themes of closure, reflection, and release. These are often times when something comes to an end, or when you are asked to let go of patterns, situations, or emotional attachments that are no longer serving you. The energy can feel more subtle or inward, often encouraging rest, introspection, or time away from external demands. You may experience a need to withdraw, process, or become more aware of your inner world and subconscious patterns. These eclipses often mark the end of a cycle, preparing you for a new beginning that will emerge more clearly in the next phase. As you go through these houses, it's important to remember that eclipses always activate two areas of life at the same time. Each house is connected to its opposite, so when one area is changing, another area is shifting along with it. This is why eclipses often feel like a rebalancing, rather than a single isolated event. You may notice movement between areas like self and relationships, home and career, or personal resources and shared resources. These connections are part of how eclipses move your life forward over time. As you can see, eclipses are not just single events, but part of larger cycles that unfold over time. They often mark chapters in your life where something begins, develops, and eventually comes to completion. The house where an eclipse falls shows where these changes are most likely to happen, whether it involves your relationships, career, home, or personal direction. At the same time, because eclipses always activate opposite houses, there is often a shift or rebalancing between two areas of life, rather than a change in just one direction. This is why eclipse periods can feel so significant, as different parts of your life are being realigned at the same time. In the next video, we'll take this one step further and look at why some eclipses affect you more than others, and how aspects to your natal chart can make certain eclipse periods more noticeable or impactful. Thank you for watching Celestial Zodiac. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.